Today we are going to be breaking down every submission from Team Polaris versus BJJ stars at Polaris 37, and there are some crazy ones in here. So let's understand the fight. First up, we've got Lucas Canard versus Julio Martins. Lucas, of course known for his world-class guard, chooses to play from the bottom. The finishing sequence begins with Lucas playing this K-guard position. Julio does well to try and prevent Lucas from connecting his foot to his hip, but Lucas ends up being able to throw his right leg over to backside 50-50 anyway. As Julio looks to backstep to face Canard, he leaves this space that allows Lucas to transition to inside ashi. From here, he starts looking for the outside heel hook, but can't quite get a strong bite on the heel. Julio defends for a minute, until Lucas works to get control of the secondary leg. From here, Lucas has incredible control of the position, and there's really not much Julio can do as Lucas works submission attempt after submission attempt. Lucas is now going to start attacking the Z-lock. This attacks the inside of the knee by just applying pressure at the end of the reaped leg, in a plane of motion that your hip cannot internally rotate enough to compensate for. When this happens, Julio would need to turn his hip this way to relieve the pressure, but he is not able to because of the control Lucas has on the secondary leg. Julio is either not understanding the danger that he's in, or just isn't willing to tap, and appears to have a pretty major pop in his knee right here. But he keeps battling. Lucas releases that for the moment, and seems like he looks for an ankle lock on the secondary leg, again showing how much control he has as he looks over to get coaching from the bench mid-match. He then starts just switching back and forth between the Z-lock on the primary leg and the ankle lock on the secondary, with complete control the whole time. He goes for one last attempt at this ankle lock, stepping on his own foot to try and add some more pressure to the finish. But when that doesn't work, he goes back to the Z-lock again, and you can see just how much rotation he's putting on that leg of Julio. Julio finally does tap, but unsurprisingly, as he gets up, we can see that he's taken some pretty serious damage to that right knee, as he seems to have pain just from putting weight on it. The next submission came from Callan O'Mahony against Juan Alvarenga. The sequence starts with Callan working to pass Alvarenga's guard. He steps into headquarters and immediately wins the underhook with his left arm, and drives Alvarenga to his back to begin tripod passing. Alvarenga tries to block this leg and potentially sweep, but Callan is able to pull the leg away and use his head post to maintain balance. When he keeps his hips this high, it makes the hooks of Alvarenga very weak and allows Callan to use some leg pummeling to free his left foot. He ends up in this position, and because Alvarenga is keeping his arm so tight to protect it, Callan has a route to go straight for his back with a chair sit style back take, utilizing that underhook that he took all the way at the start of his guard pass. Alvarenga does well stopping the hooks from getting in, and gets to his knees, but Callan is able to follow him up. From here, Callan once again takes advantage of Alvarenga keeping his arm so tight by stepping over it to enter into a triangle. He chooses to sit back to lock it. The way he is angled off to the side like this can sometimes make the triangle harder to finish, but it puts your hips at the perfect angle to attack the trapped arm. Pay attention to the direction of Alvarenga's arm here. With his whole shoulder inside the triangle, he is able to have his arm facing down, which takes some pressure off of the choke, as well as allows his hands to connect strongly enough that Callan is struggling to even break the grip. But look at the elite adjustment Callan is about to make. He crunches down, breaking Alvarenga's posture. He then briefly opens the triangle, and for a moment, it looks like Alvarenga will be able to pull his arm out. But Callan uses this to move his clamp on top of that shoulder that previously was inside the triangle. This makes it such that Alvarenga's grip breaks without Callan even needing to use his hands, and Alvarenga immediately has to tap. The next sub happens in the match between Taylor Pearman and Eli Braz. As the final minute of the match approaches, Eli tries to pass Taylor's guard. Taylor puts in this no-gi lasso hook and uses it, along with this cross-lat grip, to begin inverting under Eli. Eli decides to address the lasso hook by standing up tall and extracting his arm. But this opens up his legs, and Taylor is able to enter directly into this deep backside 50-50. Eli backsteps to face Taylor, but the inside heel hook is already locked in. And watch in slow motion just how much rotation Taylor gets on this. He does it by dropping to his shoulder, hipping in, and then even switching to this butterfly grip to get the finish. Next up, we've got Pavel Yavorsky versus Izaki Bahiense. Pavel scoops under the right leg of Izaki and enters into K-guard. Izaki stands up to try and extract his leg, but that gives space for Pavel to throw this leg behind. Izaki is doing well at keeping his knee line free, but Pavel's connection is too sticky for Izaki to actually disconnect from him. Izaki backsteps, and you can see here that his knee line is still free. So as Pavel passes this foot over, the heel hook really isn't a threat as long as that knee is free. Pavel knows this, and chooses to go for the straight ankle lock rather than the heel hook. He extends to try and get the tap, but doesn't have quite enough heat on it, so he posts on his head and concaves his chest to let Izaki's heel flow onto his ribs, turning it into an Aoki lock, and then extending to get the tap. The last submission came from Julio Martins against Taylor Pearman. Here, he is trying to pass Taylor's guard with an over-under pass, but decides to switch to the double unders, and as he secures the pass, he is also able to use his hips to occupy the inside space around Taylor's torso. Julio is able to use the fact that he has this arm trapped to force Taylor to turn to his side, as Julio moves towards north-south, exposing a path to Taylor's back. Taylor gets to his knees, and looks like he goes for a Peterson roll type of reversal, but Julio gets a strong chest-to-back connection, and is able to secure a half-back position. He quickly wins the hand fight by controlling this hand, while he forces the choking arm across to Taylor's far shoulder, and then connects his hands to get the finish.